Hello and welcome to Kanen Coffee Espresso Machines. Today we're going to be replacing a pump on this Rancilio Silvia espresso machine, and a common issue with Rancilio Silvia espresso machines is that when you press the pump button to make coffee, that no water comes out of the group head, which is just here underneath the front of the machine. And sometimes that's because it's clogged, and the way you can test is you can actually also try to run hot water out of the steam wand, and if this hot water doesn't run out of the steam wand either, then you're almost certain that the pump is bad. And you'll also see that the hose, the longer hose with the cut in it, that's the one for the pump. The cut prevents it from sticking to the bottom of the tank and losing suction. But you'll normally see water going through this hose as it's pumping, and you can try squeezing it a little bit even, and that will sometimes help prime the pump, or you'll at least hear a difference in pressure as you squeeze it and as you see water moving through when the pump is actually working. So I already took out the 4 screws, just 4 Phillips screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and we're going to go ahead and take the top off. I'm going to move it around, and I have to there's a screw, hard to see, but there's a screw right in that square hole. It's a Phillips head screw. You can use a shorter screwdriver. Sometimes I often like to use a longer screwdriver because it's just easier, and you don't have to get the screw out all the way. You just have to loosen it a little bit. Well, the other reason I often like to use a longer screwdriver is because if you use a shorter one, you just have to be careful that you don't cut yourself on these edges. They are kind of sharp, so just be careful of that. It's very common to get cut by stainless steel inside of espresso machines. And then there's also 2 screws here, 2 Phillips head screws. And it's it's hard to get a good angle because it's such a short distance. But I often like to use number 2 screwdrivers, even though it does seem a little big for this screw. It seems to be the best fit for this angle. And they come right off. So, and once again, you don't have to take it off all the way. And then you just pull the back of the case out a little bit like that, and then lift up. Make sure you don't lose these guys. These I don't even know what they call them. I forget. But they hold the screws. If you lose them, the top screws won't go back inside the machine, and your cover will be loose and will vibrate. And there's 2 more here. 1, 2. You just want to make sure they're aligned. Then we're going to take these screws off to remove this plate. 1. And 2. Boom. Now you see the pump. This is the older version of the Rancilio Silvia. And so this tube on the new version is stainless steel. And then I'm going to take a wrench to remove the my wrench guesses aren't always that great. It's a 12 millimeter. You just pull that plastic piece out, and then I'm going to pull this off. This connection on the back here. Here, let me move this down a little bit. Move this. So I took this off with the 12 millimeter wrench, and then I'm pulling this back piece off, and then I lift that off, the back rubber connection, and then I pull this one through like that, and then you just pull these connectors off, and if they're burnt you want to replace them, and you can just use standard connections. You know, you don't have, these are really hard to find, and to be honest, these connections are not that great. I think they're like it's a European thing, these type of connections, and I am just not a fan because they often burn easily, and the plastic part gets fragile. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this 13 millimeter here, and I'm going to put this 8 millimeter here, and I'm going to get that loose, and then you can see there's Loctite on it, because I'm breaking the Loctite free. And so that's the old pump. So this is the EP5. And if you want to purchase the pump from us, I'll put my email address in the our email address in the comment line, or in the line below, and you just email us, and you can order a pump from us. I also like to clean this up, so you see how the threads are all dirty from the old Loctite. And it keeps it from leaking. And then here's the new pump. This pump is a little bit better because it has a brass fitting on it, less likely to break, and but they're basically the same pump. Both pumps are 41 watts. Both pumps are 1 minute on, 1 minute off. But this is definitely the superior pump because of the brass fitting. You're less likely to break this piece in front. Yeah, especially when you're making connections. Also, when you get a new pump, sometimes a plunger in here gets stuck, and so what I like to do is blow it out with compressed air. And my air compressor's turned off. So while we wait for the air compressor to come up to pressure, I'm going to vacuum just a little bit. I can see this machine's pretty dirty, so let's just clean it up a little bit in here. I really like these Dyson vacuums. It's just amazing for working in my shop, and it's really quiet too compared to other vacuums. Let's see here. So, okay, compressed air. Forgot what it was. So, you just blow this out. And once you hear that sound, that kind of spraying sound, and you'll feel it too, you know that it's the pressure went through and the valve is open. Because yeah, sometimes they'll get clogged. So put a little Loctite on here. Sorry, my phone's ringing. We'll just tighten this up. You have to hold the bottom, because if you don't hold the bottom, it'll just spin on the pump. Ask Parker to help you. So I have my children here with me at work. Many of you are probably also working with your children, or have your children with you while you're working, as we're in this pandemic. There's less childcare options, and so we make do. Parker, help your brother, please. And then we just connect this. Before I connect it on, here I like to, make sure that the plastic is all the way down. My hand's covering it. Make sure the plastic is all the way down on that fitting and completely covering it. Also make sure the plastic isn't cracked. If that plastic tube is cracked, you might be able to shorten it a little bit, but you're not gonna have much. You know, you can see there's not much play here. So yeah, if it's cracked, then you'll probably have to replace it. And that'll be a whole nother, thing. But you can email me about how to replace it, and I'll get into it. I fixed so many machines, I never remember. I think ideally you'd want to replace it with the stainless steel, the new stainless steel version. But I don't know offhand, I don't know what all the parts are that you need to do that. Because I know it's not just going to go on there. You need some extra fittings. And you also want to make sure you don't tighten this down too tight, or it'll cut it. It'll cut that plastic part right off, and that'll break it too. So let's go ahead and put the water in and just test it quick. See if it pumps. I just saw the water flow up. And it's filling the boiler. And the pump's working. So now we'll just put the machine back together. And that part of the repair will be complete. So thank you for watching with Kanen Coffee. Please like our videos below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.